Working on a Simplex steam locomotive, Part 2, cleaning various parts of the engine, starting by scraping off what remains of the steam chest gaskets and removing what is left of the original mangled smokebox, cleaning up the steam chest covers and making new gaskets. A compressed air test confirms that I need to unblock the cylinder drains. My weapon of choice to remove the remaining gasket material is a wire brush, and here it is. I'm cleaning off every trace of the old gasket material from around the top of the steam chest. And periodically I blow the area with my airline to get rid of all the bits and pieces, which it does very well. It also shows me the bits that I've missed, so it's back to work, this time with a screwdriver point. I really do need to get rid of every trace of the gasket material from the top of this steam chest. And it took a lot longer than you've seen on this particular clip. A bit more compressed air, then back to the screwdrivering. I think that's about it. I can see one or two particles left between the studs that are close together. I thought I would introduce you to the smokebox. And here it is in all its glory. This was removed from the old boiler by splitting it down one side using an angle grinder, followed by a lot of work with a big screwdriver levering it away from the boiler because it was riveted to it. And in case you may be thinking, oh no, what a waste, such vandalism, don't worry about it. This smokebox was made from copper and it was very badly dinted to start with. Here's just one of the many dints that were present on the copper smokebox. I need to salvage the smokebox door ring and the smokebox saddle. This is how I remove the saddle. Never mind undoing all these small nuts and bolts, just chisel them off. For this job I'm using a wood chisel, and even though it was sharp to start with, by the time I've chiselled all these small bolts off it's going to be blunt, but I simply resharpen it and I use my belt sander, it's very quick. As you can see, it makes short work of the bolts, and in no time at all every one of them is in a pile in the middle of the smokebox on the bench. Occasionally though, some bolts prove difficult, but all you have to do is just hit them a bit harder. Because of the angle of the remaining bolts into the smokebox, I need to remove them using a pair of face cutters from one side. Then the smokebox saddle just falls off, and using the same face cutters I just remove the rest. I want to keep this small brass lamp bracket, so I'm using a file, and this file doesn't have any teeth on one side, and that's the side nearest the bracket. And in no time at all I've filed the rivets off and it simply falls off the smokebox, with a little bit of help from me. The smokebox door ring is riveted all the way round, so it's time to extract that. I've got it in the vise and I'm using a screwdriver. I soon changed the small screwdriver for a larger one, which removed it a lot quicker. And here's the sheet of copper that was the smokebox. Nice. Returning now to the bench to finish the steam chest cover job. On the bench I put a large piece of wood. I'm firmly holding the steam chest cover onto a piece of gasket material and drilling through it with a small drill. Then all I have to do is draw a felt tip pen line around the steam chest cover and cut it out with a pair of scissors. And a quick tip here, if you're doing a job like this, cut on the outside of the line, it really doesn't matter. If the gasket ends up sticking out a bit from the joint, it's very easy to remove it using a Stanley knife. Any other type of craft knife or scalpel will also do the job. There now follows a top tip. When you make gaskets by drilling through them with a drill, they're a bit rough. And what I'm doing here is gently rubbing the gasket on a piece of coarse sandpaper. This removes the burrs around the holes, just like it would if it was metal. Obviously you don't need to apply a lot of pressure. The final job is to cut out the centre of the gasket, once again using a craft knife or a Stanley knife. With a steam chest cover gasket you don't need to take out the centre, but I always do because after a while the centre of the gasket can sag and get caught up in the slide valve. Which is not a major problem because steam engines are not internal combustion engines, and the combination of hot water and steam blows away all the debris almost immediately. Now it's time to fit the steam chest cover at the other side. This process is absolutely identical to the one that you've just seen, except it's on the other side, so I'm not showing it in great detail. When working on miniatures, it's really important to evenly tighten the nuts, but be very careful not to over tighten these nuts, otherwise you'll just shear off the studs. Fitting the nuts in the corners was slightly different to the rest of them. I could get so far down with the socket then I had to use a spanner. Now both of these steam chest covers have been cleaned up, all the old gasket material has been removed, so there shouldn't be any leaks, and the only way to find that out is to apply the airline. Even though the centre crank pin is all over the place and there's a crack in one of the connecting rods, the engine seems to run okay. I'm just checking with my hand around the steam chest cover to see if there's any leaks, but no, it's very much airtight. Three out of the 4 drain cocks are blocked, so this is how I unblock them. I'm using a 1mm diameter drill in a pin vise. You have to be very careful when you're doing this and make sure you're not drilling through the solid part of the drain cock. It's most important that the drain cock is fully open, because all I'm drilling out is all the rust and crud that's in there. This is the last one for the treatment. It's the rear one at the right hand side. And in order to do this one, I had to pull the locomotive over the edge of the bench. All I had to do now is verify that they worked. I pumped a lot of oil into the steam inlet, connected the airline, and here you can see an oily mess underneath each of the drain cocks. It's all very well though, but I need the oil pump to do this for me. I can't pump oil into the steam inlet when I'm running the engine. I've made a new pipe, and I've made it a lot thicker than the existing one. Instead of using 1/8 pipe, I've used 4mm or 5/32 pipe. This pipe is a lot stronger and is less likely to fracture. Also, the oil pump itself is very badly mounted. I'm going to tackle that in the next episode. Oil pumps on steam engines are a vital piece of equipment. If this isn't right, disaster is just round the corner. I'm also going to check to make sure there is a one-way valve in the circuit, apart from the one-way valve on the lubricator. But that's it for this episode. Stay safe and stay well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my main Steam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.